Hello and welcome to easyodds.com. My name is Ross Casey. I'm here with the horse racing extraordinaire that is Jake Johns, who's here to give his Breeders' Cup tips for Friday and Saturday at Santa Anita.
Yeah.
So let's get straight stuck in with 5 picks from the man, the myth, the legend, Jake Johns.
The myth. I love that. I'm back after a week off last week. I'm a bit scared of the jumps at the moment. It's thrown up some odd results.
And you were so excited about it.
I know I'm still excited about it, but I don't know. It's a bit unknown at the moment. I want to wait for a bit and then hopefully this form will.
Which is wise, always wise. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, hopefully the form will start stacking up a bit better.
But we did get some good wins in the Premier League last week.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 winners.
Very good.
So happy with that. More of that next week. But let's get on with the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, I was going to just do the Breeders' Cup turf, but it's pretty obvious I was going to tip in that. So I'm just decided to do loads of them
Let's do it all.
for some reason. The Breeders' Cup meeting is obviously held right at the end of the British flat racing season. Splits opinion, completely divides opinion between a lot of people. I would say most people in Britain and around Europe are probably against it a little bit. They don't like the use of all the drugs that they use over there, the Lasix. The fact that it comes so late on, so sometimes the really good horses earlier in the season didn't show their form because it's quite late in the season. Rock solid ground usually. All these things kind of put people off a bit, but you can't argue. Some of the races are unreal to look at on paper. I mean, Limato versus Tepin just doesn't get better than that. Really, that's just amazing. That's absolutely mouth-watering clash. We'll start on Friday because there's a couple of good juvenile races on that day. First is Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. There's 3 European entries. AP O'Brien will hope for a repeat of last year where Hit It a Bomb came from last to first in a sweeping move, showed a blistering turn of foot, but didn't show anything like that this season. I was really excited after that, but don't know what it is. I think it's the Warfront thing they don't really train on from 2. But I don't fancy either of his in this. I thought Lancaster Bomb was pretty lucky last time. He's used as a pacemaker for Churchill. Was a pretty slow pace and it was just a bit of a weird race and I just don't think he's that good and Ryan Moore's not on him anyway, so that shows that he doesn't think he's that good either. He's going to be on Intelligence Cross and I don't rate him that much either. He's got beaten by Memas this season. I just don't think he's one of their best 2-year-olds. The one I like is Good Samaritan for a guy called William Mott. Joel Rosario's riding. Looks an absolute superstar. It's 2 from 2. He absolutely canted from last to first. Consummate ease in the Summer Stakes at Woodbine last time. Looked really, really good. Been watching all these races that race on YouTube. Rewatched it a lot just then. Super, super impressive. Basically went on the bridle. That was only his 2nd start, so there's obviously a lot more to come from him. He looked like could be very, very good. And I think there was a bit of a decision to be made whether he's going to go on the dirt, but they've chosen this, so I'm pretty sure they've chosen this. So yeah, that's a good thing for this for me. But the danger has got to be Oscar Performance, who's been really, really devastating from the front recently. Set pretty quick fractions in the Pilgrim Stakes. That was on yielding ground. He won by 6 lengths, so I don't know. I would. He won before, but in a not fantastic race, but even further on really fast ground. But I don't know. Like he might not be able to dictate that much on ground like this in such a high class race. So the one I like there is Good Samaritan at 6-1, American horse. Next up is the Juvenile Fillies Turf. That's at 10:50 our time UK. This time I quite like the European entrants. There's a lot of them and they all look pretty good to be honest. Hydrangea maintained a really high level of form this season, ahead of Rhododendron, then lost to her. There might not be anything as good as Rhododendron in this race. She's been really impressive in the last couple of runs. It surprises me slightly that Ryan Moore doesn't ride Hydrangea. Jumped ship to Roly Poly, who was recently beaten by Brave Anna at Newmarket. Brave Anna wasn't one of the better AP O'Brien 2-year-old fillies, so I don't really know why that's happened. And Joseph O'Brien, his son, enters Intricately, who beat both of those horses, Hydrangea and Rhododendron, at the Curragh as a homebred horse. Joseph O'Brien's brother rides him, so it's a proper family thing. But the form of the Curragh that day is very, very dodgy. I mean, even today, a horse won that got absolutely slaughtered at that course. It seems to have happened a lot. It was just really weird, lots of strange results. I mean, Order of St George got beaten by Wicklow Brave.
Okay.
That's just an example of how weird the results were that day. So I would like to see him do it again. If he wins here, I mean, if she wins here, then it's going to obviously, like, she's obviously unbelievably good and really exciting for the future. But the one I actually like is Spain Berg. I know she's not European now, but she's had all her races in Europe. But she just recently got sold to Reeves Thoroughbred Racing. She went straight in the horse tracker after she won last time in the Rockfell by over a length. She was really, really keen throughout the race. Awkward head carry at the start. Received the bump when making her move, but one with loads and loads in hand. Easy hands and heel rider, the Frankie Dettori. Frankie Dettori's back on today, which is a massive plus. There's got to be lots more to come. I mean, she's really exciting. She's a really exciting prospect when she settles better. She's still 14-1 for the 14 to 1 for the Guineas. I don't really understand that, but yeah, she's got a huge chance. Currently 4 to 1. Really like her. Really like her for the future as well, but I like her in this as well. It's for Spain Berg in the Juvenile Fillies Turf, and
good stuff. So that's 2 picks on the Friday.
On the Friday, yeah.
6 to 1 in the Juvenile Turf. It's Good Samaritan.
Yep.
And in the Juvenile Fillies Turf,
Spain Berg.
For Spain Berg, 4 to 1. Moving on to Saturday now.
Okay. Next up is the Filly and Mare Turf. Lady Eli's 5 to 2 favourite. She's a big thing over in America. Trained by Chad C. Brown. She looked an absolute super freak beast in the Belmont Oaks last season. Swept to the front on the bridle. Won with anything in hand. Unbelievably impressive. But in my opinion, she actually hasn't hit those heights this season. She lost on debut this year. Fair enough, like pretty good race, first time out. But even last time, she wasn't as impressive as she was in that Belmont Stakes. She was obviously still pretty good. It was a Group 1 in the Flower Bowl, but only just ahead of Sentiero Italia. And I don't know, like, she's 5 to 2. I'm keen to take her on. The one I like, another one for AP O'Brien, Seventh Heaven. Ryan Moyes, obviously one of the best jockeys in the world, absolutely fantastic. No one would argue with that. But he had a couple of shockers on a Champions Day at Ascot, including on Seventh Heaven. I mean, I wouldn't describe it as an absolute shocker, but he met a lot of trouble going down the straight. Made a decision to use up a lot of energy from the outside draw, and probably the wrong decision. It was a decision that he had to make. So I mean, everyone makes wrong decisions, and it just seemed like it probably was the wrong decision. Couldn't have met more trouble. But before that, she was hugely progressive. Beat Found. She wasn't that good in the Derby, but since then she's been absolutely fantastic. 10 furlongs is a little bit of a worry because I think she's properly good at 12 furlongs. So I don't know. 10 furlongs is a bit of a worry. She won't want to get into trouble at all. She needs quite a lot of time to kind of get going, but I think she's good enough for this, and she's still 3 to 1, which is a good price. She's massively improving. If you put a line through her last run, Ryan Moore on board, good price, 3 to 1. Seventh Heaven.
Excellent stuff.
Now we're getting to the big stuff now. All these others are big, but this is even bigger. This is the Breeders' Cup Turf. I mean, it's pretty obvious who I'm going to tip if you watched these videos before or read any of my articles, because I've tipped her about 20,000 times this season already. Won me a lot of money because of
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, because she won the Arc. That's a little hint who I'm going to go for. Flintshire and Ectot go here again after matching up before. Flintshire obviously used to be a fantastic French colt, like top class, really good over in America as well, but got beaten pretty comprehensively by Ectot. It was only a 4-runner race, probably going to turn the tables. Ectot 16 to 1. Some people might want to nibble at that. Globetrotter Highland Rio is a fantastic horse in his own right. Won the King George. Won loads of Group 1s around the world, Hong Kong Cup. But I just can't get away from Found, especially at 9 to 4 is super. I thought she was going to be about evens for this. She won this race last year against Golden Horn. There's almost definitely nothing as good as Golden Horn this race. She's gone on for a ridiculous. She had about so many races this season. It's ridiculous. She just goes on and on and on. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't matter for her. I have no idea why. She can just produce no matter what.
Absolute warhorse.
Absolute warhorse. Yeah. She's just way better in the autumn as well. Like a completely different horse in the autumn. I showed when she won the Arc, obviously, and she was second last time in the Champions Stakes to Al Manzour, who is, I mean, arguably the best racehorse in the entire world.
Yeah.
And that was a really game second as well. And she's beaten Highland Rail quite a few times before as well. She's beaten him in the Arc. I just think she's a superb price at 9-4. That is my tip of the entire meeting.
Okay.
Final race I'll be covering is the Breeders' Cup Mile. Now, another horse that I really, really like, and I've tipped her for Royal Ascot for the Queen Anne, Tepin. She's currently 3-1 favourite. She won at Ascot with so many things going against her. Wasn't allowed to do drugs, straight mile, different ground that she's encountered before. So many different factors that would have gone against her, but she still won pretty easily as well. It wasn't the best of races, but she still did it. And she was beaten last time, but it's pretty widely accepted that jockey Julian Leproux kind of gave the leader way too much rope. Couldn't read him in time. I think she's still a good price at 3-1. She's 3-1 because Lamato's in the race. She'd be a lot shorter if not. Lamato versus Tepin. That is a superb matchup. And I know that a mile on fast ground around here is pretty perfect for a 7-furlong specialist, apparently. But I would just, even with that, I still don't think Lamato is as good as Tepin. I mean, Lamato is absolutely fantastic, especially on fast ground. But on balance, I have to weigh it up. I'm going to go with Tepin at 3-1. So. Saturday tips are Juvenile Fillies Turf. I'm going for Spainberg at 4-1. Filly and Mare Turf, 7th Heaven 3-1. Breeders' Cup Turf, Found 9-4. Breeders' Cup Mile, Tepin 3-1. Don't know anything about the dirt ones, but yeah.
Excellent stuff. So there's 5 selections from our man Jake Johns for Friday and Saturday at the Breeders' Cup. And before we leave you, we need to tell you about our new casino partner, Caramba, excellently named Caramba. They're offering 200% up to £500, plus 150 free spins if you open an account with them. So we really do recommend that you do that. We'll leave their details in the bottom of this video. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly horse racing tips from Jake Johns and Premier League tips from myself, Ross Casey. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Ross Casey. This is Jake Johns. Bye!